is Deb Samantha, and this is the first episode of Home Cooking. I'm really into healthy cooking and making many recipes that are gluten-free. So welcome to my kitchen. So even if you're a working person such as me, you can come home and throw this together fairly quickly and easily. So what I'm going to start out with is 4 cloves of garlic and a small onion. We're also going to be adding in green pepper, some baby Bella mushrooms, can of tomato sauce, a can of diced tomatoes, and for seasoning, we'll be using oregano or Italian seasoning, about a tablespoon, and some salt and pepper, and then olive oil. And that's basically it. For the noodles, I'm going to be doing some gluten-free options, and so I just have some zucchini here, and I'll show you how I use my spiralizer to make noodles with zucchini. It's very, very easy, and it's a lot cheaper to make them yourself than buy them in the store. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to get our garlic and our onion ready to go into the sauce. Use my knife here and separate out the garlic cloves. We'll use I usually use 3 to 4 depending on how large they are, because I like garlic. So, and I'm just going to cut the ends off of each one. Then I do a little bit of a slice on the long side of the garlic and peel off the outer peel, the skin. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've cleaned off the skin off of 4 pieces of my garlic, off of the 4 garlic cloves. And I'm just going to put this into my special tool that I have, which grates the garlic up into really tiny pieces. Just squeeze that, it comes out the other end. Use the wrong edge of my knife just to scrape that off. And I'll continue to do that to the other 3 pieces of garlic. I'm just going to dice up my onion. This is so simple and easy. I love making this after I've worked all day because it's just nothing to it. I love to cook. My grandparents owned a supper club in southern Wisconsin, and I pretty much grew up there. I took my first steps there as a young child. That's where I really developed my love for cooking. I'm just going to add this into the garlic. My grandmother was the main chef at the supper club, and she was constantly inventing recipes and trying them out. And they were awesome. They really tasted great. Okay, so we're going to just add 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's about 1, 2. Okay. And we'll get this turned on. I just usually put this on medium when I start and then turn it down to a little bit lower temperature. So I'm going to add our garlic and our onion. Okay, so we're just sauteing our onion and our garlic. Just have it over a medium heat. Okay, while that's sauteing, I am going to go ahead and slice my mushrooms and my green pepper. I'll get my green pepper cleaned up here. I just kind of cut it in half and then take out the seeds and the stem. I've already washed everything with water. Okay, now we're going to slice up our green pepper. I kind of like to make this more dice, so more into smaller little pieces than slicing it. Just kind of dice your green pepper here. Green onion, sometimes I don't use the whole thing. I don't want it to be too strong, so maybe just a half of a green pepper to 3/4, depending on how big it is to begin with. You don't want to overpower it with a green pepper taste. My husband doesn't like them, so I try not to put too many of them in there for him. Okay, add that to the stove. Okay, so you can see that I've added in the green pepper and with the onion and the garlic. I'm just going to keep sauteing that on medium to medium-low now. I'm going to slice up my mushrooms. And I like to use the whole package of baby bellas. Since I'm not using meat, I just like the texture of a lot of mushrooms in my sauce. Okay, I'm just going to stir my onion, garlic, and green pepper mixture here. Alright, still have the heat on medium to medium-low. I don't want to burn my onions, so I don't want it too high. And I'm going to add my sliced mushrooms. And this is when I add my seasoning to my sauce. So I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. If you have high blood pressure, you can leave the salt out. And it still tastes pretty good without the salt. Okay, add some pepper in there. And then my Italian seasoning or oregano, about a tablespoon of that. I cook like my grandmother. I don't tend to measure things, but I can guesstimate pretty good. So my recipe card is pretty accurate for the amount to add for each item, for each ingredient. My grandmother taught me well. Smells really, really good. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to let that saute on the cooktop here. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'll just get my cans of 1 can of tomato sauce and 1 can of diced tomatoes opened up, and then we'll add them in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm just going to give this another stir. This is when I start my water to boil my zucchini noodles, so I'm just going to turn on my back burner and get the water started on that, get that heated up. Really good. Okay, so at this point now I'm just going to add my can of tomato sauce. And I try to buy organic whenever I can. I mean, I don't always, but when I can afford it, I do try to use organic products. So got some organic tomato sauce and some diced organic tomatoes. We'll add those in. Okay. I'll just give the sauce a stir here. Okay. Oh, it looks so pretty. And now we're just going to get our zucchini noodles ready so that we can boil those for our pasta. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to cover my saucepan. I'm just going to cover it with a lid. I just leave a little bit of a vent out, and it just lets the sauce reduce a little bit and all the flavors melt together from everything that's in there. And we're just going to let that, I'm going to turn this down to low now. And I'm just going to let the sauce simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes while I get the zucchini noodles ready and prepare those. All right, so this is my zucchini spiralizer. I have a blade that I just stick into here. Okay, and then I've already washed my zucchini. I just usually cut the very ends of them off to prepare them. I leave the skin on. A lot of vitamins in there, so I don't peel my zucchini before I make the noodles. So I just wanted to give you a better angle of my spiralizer here. I'm just going to place a bowl on the outside edge here, and then the spiralizer, you just anchor one end of the zucchini into the blade area, and then you're going to anchor the other end in here. It's got a little handle, and you just sort of push it through, and you're going to see it come out the other end, and it just makes some nice noodles. Okay, so you can see from this side as I spiralize all of my zucchini. Okay, I'm just going to check on my sauce over here. And that's bubbling up really nicely. Give that a little bit of a stir. Okay, I'm just going to add my zucchini noodles into the boiling water in the back here. Alright. And we'll just let those boil or simmer for about 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, so I think my zucchini noodles are done cooking. I'm going to turn that off and I will drain them. And then after I do that, I like to add them back into my sauce just to give them more flavor. So I'm just going to add these back into the sauce. Stir the zucchini noodles into the sauce. I'll continue to let this simmer a little bit longer on low heat. It looks so good. Okay, here's our finished product. I'm just going to turn this off, and I wanted to show you my beautiful sauce with the zucchini noodles. It looks so good and it smells so good. I like to sprinkle a little bit of grated Parmesan on my pasta before I eat it. It gives it just a little bit of extra flavor. And we'll just taste it, see how it tastes. Really good.
So long that I've been